Just under an hour from now, Governor Gretchen Whitmer will deliver her final State of the State address.
That's where political reporter Rick Albin is tonight with more on what that speech means for the legislative session ahead. Rick.
Has already started just a few minutes ago, and in the next hour you'll see a number of people will be coming in to the House chamber, and they'll also start getting their seats. It gets to be a very crowded place in there. There's been some speculation about what the governor may be talking about tonight. Part of it may be a look back at her time in the legislature. That was 14 years that she spent in the House and the Senate, and of course she's now in her 8th year as governor. And so there may be some things to look back at, but Speaker of the House Matt Hall was concerned about taking too much time looking backward. He wants some bold actions, and he says he hopes that the governor has more to do in her final months.
I think the speech will largely be backward-looking, kind of going through the greatest hits. And then I think we're likely to see some very soft and small things for moving forward, some very safe things that she thinks are maybe achievable, very minor improvements. I look at the situation right now in Michigan. We talked about our education system. We talked about, we have very high unemployment compared to other states. We're not growing like other states. Affordability is a big issue in Michigan, and so I'd like to be bold and try to get something big done in Gretchen Whitmer's last year.
One of the things we think the governor will be talking about tonight, and something where she may find some cooperation with the legislature, is about literacy. She mentioned that in her budget presentation. We expect her to put a little bit more emphasis on that tonight, as you can hear the Pledge of Allegiance now in the joint session that is just now beginning. But one thing I will be listening for closely, and that's what the governor has to say about a perceived government shortfall in funds because of some of the taxes that were cut last year. There was some speculation that there could be money taken out of the rainy day fund, but the Speaker of the House is not in favor of that, and that could make for a contentious budget plan. But it is an election year, and a lot of members want to get home to campaign, so that may make it go a little more quickly. But I'll be listening for that tonight, and we'll have more, of course, at 10 to 11. Live in Lansing, Rick Albert, News 8.
All right, Rick, thank you for that live report.
And as Rick said, he'll have a breakdown of what was said in Lansing, and News 8's Adriana Doria will also have reaction to Whitmer's final address. You can watch it all tonight at News 8 at 10 and 11.